UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals were founded on a promise. A promise to care for all children, regardless of race or financial status. Over the last 100 years, we've taken that promise beyond the hospital walls. We all know the needs of today's children exist not only in hospitals, but on our streets, in schools, and throughout our community. This is why today the hospital has grown from that singular promise into care that extends across the Bay and around the world. We've never settled for it's impossible. Why? Because when it comes to kids, we believe that possibility has no limits. We've grown and thrived because you, our community, believed it was possible. Every dollar has helped us reach our goal of moving medicine forward for all kids. We have been treating children for over 100 years. With your help, imagine what we could do over the next 100. What do you believe is possible?
Welcome to what was supposed to be our 20th annual Rowan Branch shopping spree, and what is now our second Rowan e-spree with a fun fiesta theme. I'm Christina Smith, Vice President of the Children's Hospital Branches and the Rowan Branch e-spree co-chair. This is Lucy Talbot, President of the Children's Hospital Branches. Together, we are thrilled to be your hosts for tonight's event. Thanks for joining us in support of UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital Oakland. Rowan Branch is a part of the Children's Hospital Branches, which founded our hospital more than a century ago. And for nearly 70 years, Rowan Branch has been an essential grassroots supporter of this vital institution. Children's Hospital Oakland serves a crucial role in our community. It leads the nation in pediatric medicine, research, child advocacy, healthcare equity, and medical training, while still retaining its century-old mission to treat every kid who comes through the door, including the 70% of patients who are underinsured or do not have private insurance.
It comes as no surprise that Children's Oakland has risen to meet the needs of patients during the COVID-19 pandemic. They have increased their telehealth visits from 100 in 2019 to over 66,000 in the past year. This quick pivot was possible thanks in part to financial support from the branches. Despite the increase in telehealth, tens of thousands of children still need to be treated in person for serious conditions at Children's Oakland. With over 30 pediatric specialties, Children's Oakland has the experts to treat all children in need. Now more than ever, Children's Oakland depends upon our support. Even in the pandemic, kids still battle chronic diseases and cancers, and they are still breaking bones. Babies are still being born prematurely with life-threatening medical conditions, and they still need the expertise from the best and brightest medical professionals.
Tonight, we'll be hearing from one of these incredible medical professionals about important equipment to help assess and treat kids with asthma who visit the hospital outpatient center at the Claremont Clinic. Lucy and I sat down recently with Dr. Gina Lewis, who runs the Claremont Clinic, which is the hospital's federally qualified health center. That's FQHC, and with Erin Hickey, the head of the Hospital Foundation, so we could get a better understanding of the needs of the FQHC and their patients. We'll be sharing the most compelling parts of those conversations with you a bit later in the program, and asking for your support to fund spirometers that Gina and Erin told us are so essential. But before we ask you to open your wallets, we hope to entertain, inspire, and perhaps educate you a little bit during this time we have together.
If you don't already have a drink of choice in hand, I hope you'll grab the recipe for the Margarita Negra we have up on the Rowan website, and follow along with our mixologist extraordinaire, Stefan Krupinski, as he shows us how to prepare this delicious drink at home. And to further the fiesta mood, enjoy these tasty, healthy Mexican recipes from cookbook author Jennifer Aranda Berg.
Hello friends, Stefan here, National Brand Ambassador for Mr. Black Cold Brew Liqueur. I want to thank you for joining us tonight as we help Rowan Branch raise much needed funds for the UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital of Oakland. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to make a Margarita Negra using Mr. Black Cold Brew Liqueur. So, let's get started. First off, we need to start with some citrus. I'll be using a cocktail shaker, but feel free to use a mason jar. Anything with a lid on it, it's going to work. So, it's going to be very simple. I'm going to use a jigger, but if you have a shot glass, that works too. Just make that full shot glass 1 full part or ounce. So I'm going to use 1 full ounce of fresh lime juice. Freshly squeezed. There it is. 1 ounce of lime juice. Then we're going to use 1 part of tequila. Any tequila will do. You can use mezcal if you like that too. We'll go ahead and do 1 full ounce of Mr. Black Cold Brew Liqueur. Then we're going to use 1/2 of an ounce of an agave syrup. You can pick this up at your local grocery store. If you don't have it, you can use honey or simple syrup. We'll use 1/2 ounce of agave syrup there. Sweeten that up. We'll need to prepare our glass, which is very easy. We're going to use one of these limes that we've already used, this little lime husk. We'll just rub that on the outside edge of a short glass here, a rocks glass. Now that that's coated, we're just going to give it a quick dusting and some kosher salt. Dust off the rest there. And we can add some ice and ice down our glass. Now that we ice down the glass, we'll need to ice down the cocktail shaker. Here's the really fun interactive part. You're gonna need to shake this extra hard to dilute and chill this cocktail. There it is. Extra chilly, frothy, looks really good. Excellent. The next thing we'll do is go ahead and strain this right into your glass, like so. And then garnish. We'll need to garnish this with a lime wheel. So I'll just cut up a lime wheel real quick. There we are, like so. And there it is, the Margarita Negra. Well, that's gonna do it for me. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks again for supporting Rowan Branch. Cheers, y'all.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Aranda Burke. I am the author of the cookbook Healthy Flavors of Mexico. And tonight, I'm real excited to share with you some of my favorite recipes from the cookbook. But before we do that, I want to thank you for joining us tonight in supporting Rowan Branch. Today, we're going to do a green salsa, a delicious guacamole, and a ceviche. Let's get started. All right. So to make a green salsa, it's very easy. All you're going to need is tomatoes, and I'll just put them whole in my blender. Once you have your tomatoes in the blender, you close your blender and turn it on. As you can see, the tomatoes are already watered, so you don't need to add any water at all. Then I add my chile, so that's depending how spicy you want it. So in this case, I like to add 2-3 of them. I like it really spicy. And then you're also going to add 1/4 of an onion and just a full pinch of salt. Close your blender and blend again. And that is pretty much it. You have a delicious raw green salsa that you can add to pretty much anything. We eat it with some chips. You can add it to whatever is your liking. So this is our green salsa. Fast and easy guacamole. All you're going to need is onions. So this is super easy to make. You got your onions, and you're also going to need tomatoes. I like to add my lime juice just so the onions and the tomatoes get that nice taste in there of the lime. Serranos as well. And then we're gonna add the most important thing. So I actually start just mixing it up a little bit. Then you're going to have a wonderful guacamole. You're just gonna cut it in little squares here. It's really easy to do. And then we're going to grab our knife and cut it in little squares. I have the best tip to pick a guacamole or an avocado. It's actually really easy to do. All you have to make sure is that it has a really nice dark skin and that it's not too hard, but it's also not too soft. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt and just a little bit of pepper here. Taste. And all you have to do now is just mix it up. And this guacamole can go as a side dish. It goes great with fish tacos. I just like to do fish tacos and put this guacamole on top. Or you can just have some tortilla chips and enjoy it. You want to mix it up pretty well until it is all blended together. But this is pretty much it. This is the great guacamole. Let me show you. For our ceviche, all we're going to need is pre-cooked shrimp. We're going to put it into a big bowl. Once you have your pre-cooked shrimp, we're going to add some onions. We're also going to add some tomatoes. I always love to use fresh ingredients. So now, fresh lime juice, about 2 or 3 lime juices. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna add spice, so I add some serranos, and I just cut 2 serranos, but it depends, right? You can put a little bit or not too much depending on how spicy you want it. Then we're gonna add some pepper, just a little bit of pepper here. What makes a ceviche taste really good and makes it look really pretty is some cilantro. And all we're going to do is mix all of the ingredients. And then you'll have your amazing ceviche. You can add guacamole if you want to, or you can add some avocado as well. This is our delicious ceviche. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I hope you enjoy my recipes. Adios!
While you hear from our sponsor co-chairs, Nazi and Leonella, Lucy and I will be nibbling on the delicious recipes that Jennifer just showed us and sipping a margarita negra. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Nazi, one of the co-chairs of the sponsorship committee. This event would not be possible without the financial support of our generous sponsors and in-kind donors. Our diamond level sponsors this year are Sheila and Bob Challey, Cresco Equipment Rentals, Red Wing Equipment, and Amy and Reed Settlemyer. These generous long-term supporters of the Rowan Branch have been the backbone of our fundraising efforts year after year and have truly made a difference in raising much-needed funds for the hospital. Again, we are always grateful for their support and generosity.
Thanks, Nazi. Hi, I'm Leonella, and I've been a nurse at Children's Hospital, Oakland for almost 20 years and admire that we care for all children regardless of their family's ability to pay. Children's Oakland has been providing medical care for over 100 years, serving the East Bay and beyond. Your sponsorship and support is critical to Children's Oakland, and because of you, we are able to fund vital services and equipment. Thank you to our Pearl sponsors, Cunin Orthodontics, Cosich Family Insurance, Debbie and Nick Rago, and Jan and Greg Yonko. Thank you to our many Topaz and Jade level sponsors and in-kind donors. Cheers to your generosity. It's my pleasure to introduce Joe Cunningham of Sound Advice Auctions, who will be helping us with our fund and need this evening. Take it away, Joe.
Thank you, Leonella. And by the way, is Stefan taking orders for those margarita negras? Because I'm all in. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. We are so very grateful to you for joining our event and coming along with us on our journey today to learn about the needs that Rowan Branch is focused on this year and understand how you can help our most vulnerable kids. Throughout our event tonight and through the weekend, you can visit our silent auction online by clicking on our website, rowanbranch.org, where you are right now. We have some amazing items, and I only have a couple minutes to highlight just a few. Our premier item is a Napa Valley romantic getaway. You and your special person will enjoy a one-night stay at the Napa Valley Lodge with champagne breakfast. Enjoy an incredible can't-purchase tasting at world-renowned Ovid Vineyards Winery, a creative offshoot of Silver Oak, by the way, with a fabulous tasting for two and 3-bottle wood collector's box of 2014 Ovid wine, a $2,000 value for this box alone. You'll dine for two at Farmstead at Long Meadow Ranch, and if that isn't fantastic enough, we'll add an exclusive cave tour and tasting for two at Schramsberg Vineyards, including a magnum of 2017 Schramsberg Blanc de Blanc and a Woodhouse Chocolate Ultimate Gift Box. Just an incredible romantic adventure, all packaged up for you and valued at $2,850. Our next featured item comes to us from one of the most renowned and accomplished orthodontic centers in the entire Bay Area, the wonderful staff at Maggioroni Orthodontics. This service is good for $2,500 towards any service offered by my friend Dr. Maggioroni, including braces, Invisalign, ClearTech, and many others, and it applies towards any future treatment for a child or an adult, regardless of what is needed. If orthodontic treatment is in your future plans, you'll be in the most qualified care with Dr. Maggioroni while making a significant contribution to our cause tonight. Another featured item is our amazing Big Beautiful Red collection, featuring an incredible wine assortment that is something for every wine lover. Whether you're in the mood for a Pinot Noir from a wide variety of styles or a more robust Meritage blend, how about a Cab or a Zinfandel? Well, you will not be disappointed with this beautifully curated offering of over 20 bottles of perfectly cellared wines to round out your collection. Many of these wines are rare and only available as limited wine club only members allotments. And they can be added to your collection this evening. Roughly $2,000 in wine value will be yours. It's just up to you to help our cause and make your bids now. So, there are many more special items that we have for you to bid on, ranging from an additional special wine collection, an interior design package, a personal training package, a gorgeous South Lake Tahoe getaway, one-of-a-kind jewelry, and many, many more. But again, it's up to you to start your bidding now and help support our efforts tonight and reach our goals. Bidding will continue until 9 p.m. on Sunday night. You know, each year, your contributions are responsible for helping to meet a critical need. And there is no shortage of need at Children's Oakland. For many decades, Rowan Branch has raised money each year for an area of the hospital that has a critical need that might not otherwise be funded. The reason why we're all here is to help raise much needed funds for Children's Oakland. And here to tell us more about this vital institution is Erin Hickey, Assistant Vice Chancellor of Development at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals Foundation, and Dr. Gina Lewis, who runs the hospital's Claremont clinic. Aaron and Gina recently sat down with Christina and Lucy to talk about the status of our beloved Children's Oakland. Let's take a look.
On behalf of UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital Oakland, I want to thank you for joining us today. We could not do what we do without your incredible support, the support of the branches, and very specifically the Rowan Branch. And you are all part of that. The last year has presented a multitude of challenges to each of us individually and really to the hospital as a whole. I think the range of emotions have gone everywhere from exhaustion to absolute inspiration as we have looked at how our frontline heroes have responded to the needs of our families, the needs of our patients, and the needs of our broader community. As we all have our individual stories, you can imagine that each family comes to us with their story, with the way that they've been impacted by the pandemic. Some may find themselves in positions they never thought they would be in. They can't afford the diaper that they were able to afford before. They can't feed their family in the same way that they could. They can't gain the same transportation that they would have to access the kind of care that we're able to provide, the kind of specialty care that we're able to provide to these patients and families. One area that's incredibly important in all of this is our Claremont clinic at our federally qualified health center. And I am delighted to introduce you to Dr. Gina Lewis, who runs our Claremont clinic, is an expert in complex care needs of patients, really a national expert. Maybe she won't say that, but I'm gonna say it, national expert. And we are incredibly lucky to have her leadership here. So again, thank you for all that you do to support the Children's Hospital. We really couldn't do it without you.
So I work at the Federally Qualified Health Center here at Children's Hospital Oakland. A federally qualified health center is a place where primary care and preventative care is given. And normally that's given to children, families, adults, and everyone. But we are the one FQHC in the country that serves just children. And it's embedded in a children's hospital. And we serve 11,000 unique patients. 92% of those patients are living in poverty, and 30% of those patients are experiencing homelessness. We also have a very high number of patients who have chronic respiratory disease and asthma. In fact, 3,500 of our patients have asthma and get wraparound services through our federally qualified health center. So one of the things that we desperately need is a machine called a spirometer. This is what the pulmonary respiratory specialists consider standard of care for taking care of children with asthma. It's considered a vital sign, just like the heart rate, the respiratory rate, and the blood pressure. A child breathes into it, and we see how their lung function is doing, and that allows us to decide what kinds of medicines they need to help control the asthma and give them a better quality of life. Children who are living in poverty, unfortunately, often have higher levels of toxins in their home and school. Their neighborhoods and schools are located near highway on-ramps and off-ramps, and so they are constantly being exposed to toxins that make their chronic respiratory conditions worse. We want to undo that. We want to give them the medicines and the tools they need to help get back to normal so that they can play and be kids. The spirometer is going to help us to do that. We could use up to 4 machines. We have a lot of patients coming through our doors, and at any given moment, we have more than one child who's needing that test. The great thing about this spirometer is that it will connect directly to our electronic medical record so that not only the doctors in our primary care clinic, but the specialists can see the results and help us to help the kids and their families.
As both Aaron and Gina explained, the need for these spirometers is crucial and will not be met without our help. Philanthropy is critical to fill in the gaps that typical funding sources can't cover. The needs of the hospital always outpace the money coming in from insured patients. So we've highlighted where we need your help and how you can make a significant difference in our efforts to fund these spirometers and help us fund this critical need. We'll take you through some various levels of giving today. to find the right level for you. So please, right now, make sure that you aren't watching us in full screen so that you can donate in real time. Make sure you pop us off of that full screen and make sure you have access to being able to donate as we begin our funding levels. We're going to begin our fund in need with our first level at $5,000. Now, throughout, I'm going to be watching our monitors and want to see who can kick us off. Who can begin and help us kick off with a $5,000 donation? We're going to give some time for these to come in, but I already have one. Again, a big, giant thank you for kicking us off, Sheila and Bob Challey at $5,000. Now remember, just 2 of these will help fund the much-needed spirometry machine that we've been talking about. And just 2 of those $5,000 bids fund an entire machine. Anybody else at that $5,000 level? Well, a big thank you to Christina and Chris Smith. Thank you for a $5,000 donation. We've just made our goal to get to 1 of those. Let's keep it rolling. Anybody else at that $5,000 level? We're keeping our eye out there. Okay, if you want to continue, particularly at that level, make sure that you let us know. I'm going to move on now. As we move to our next level, we're moving to $2,500. If that's the right level for you, please make your pledge on screen and help us keep this moving. $2,500 will make a huge difference in the cause that we're fighting for today and helping us to meet those much needed funds. Anybody else at that $2,500 level? Keeping an eye out. I'm going to give you some time for that bid that we have in there. Okay, we're watching out, and I'm going to make sure we come back and recognize those as they come, because sometimes we have a little bit of a delay in that bidding. So next, I'm going to call our attention to $1,000. If we have $1,000, if that's the right level for you, please enter your pledge now. Remember, your $1,000 donation will go a long way in helping to assure that every family whose child receives care at the hospital's Claremont clinic will have state-of-the-art access to this essential breathing equipment. At $1,000 bid, we've got Carrie Barlow. Thank you to Carrie Barlow at $1,000. We also have, well, hang on. This is something you can do as well. Let's learn from Laura Hubbard, because not 1, but 2. Laura's in twice at $1,000 for $2,000 bid. That's fantastic. Thank you, Laura. As we're watching out for our next bids, we have, all right, I'm going to keep an eye on that. Beth, you let me know if there's anything that we see that's come in. We'll make sure we get a holler about that. I'm going to hold for just 1 more second. And again, Laura and Carrie, thank you for kicking us off at that $1,000 level. If this is where your need, if this is where you can help us with this need and where we fit, please make your pledge now at $1,000. Makes a pretty significant difference in the fight that we're going after today. I'm going to move on. Next, we have at $500. If $500 is where you can join in, please enter your bid now. $500, I'm going to keep an eye on, and we're watching our monitors. We have a number of bids that are starting to come in on a handful of other. All right, we're getting there, and it's moving. Come on, we've got some excitement brewing here in the room, and I want you guys to make sure that you know that your donation makes a significant difference. Remember, just a few of these bids come together, and we can fund an entire machine and give that level of experience, that level of care, so far beyond. At $500, we've got Margie Peterson. Margie, thank you so much at $500 bid. Another $500 bid in Mary Del Santo. Mary, thank you at $500 bid. Got 1 more coming in. Hang on. John K. John, thank you for your $500 bid. We're catching them right now in real time. Hang on. Nazi Shakarin at $500. Nazi, thank you for all you're doing both behind the scenes as well as helping to make sure that we're moving the needle today. Anyone else at our $500 level? We're watching our screens to just catch the last few that we have here. And 1 more. We've got Carol DiRamondo. Carol DiRamondo, thank you at $500 bid. It's okay, we can clap here inside of our studio. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're going to keep an eye on our monitors. We're going to make sure we go back and recognize all of those. If there's anybody we missed, let's move on. I'm going to move to $250. Listen, $250, every donation makes a difference, and we're continuing to drive towards our goal and fund this incredibly important need that would not otherwise be met without your donation. Really critical for us to make that notation, because these are the funds that are raised for Children's Hospital that we don't otherwise get from other resources. At $250, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to jump one up. At $300, we got Mary Ann Matthews came in at $300 bid. Mary Ann, thank you so much. We have $250 bid here now from Trudy and Charles Salter. Trudy and Charles, thank you for your $250 bid. One more just in. Laura Clydesdale is in at $250. Thank you, Laura. All right, we're keeping them rolling. If $250 is your level, don't slow your roll now. This is where we're making a big difference. So jump in, get that pledge in. We're still at $250, and this is kind of our last and final call at that. Hey, and just saying that, how about Leslie Lamond at $250? Leslie, thank you so very much. And Leslie is not being outdone because Aaron Lohman. Sorry, Leslie Lohman. Leslie Lohman. Well, I'm gonna jump in, and because I pronounced your name wrong, I'm in at $250 now. So we're in for that. Aaron Blackburn. Aaron, you are in at $250. Thank you so very much. Anybody else that we have at that level? All right, I'm going to move on. And lastly, at $100. Listen, remember, if you can donate $100, please help us get to our goal. Every dollar, every donation level matters, and this is the last level in asking for your help. So again, you can do it in increments. If you'd like to do 100 or maybe it's 200, we're going to go and take a look at that. And sure enough, just as I'm saying it, popping up on our screen and leading the charge with a $200 bid is our dear friend Janine Birkland. Janine, thank you at $200. We've got the same thing from the lovely and talented Christy Campbell. Thank you, Christy, at $200. Next up, our friend Jenny Deal. Jenny is in at $200. How about Fedora Darmstead at $100? Next up, we've got Kate Goldstein and Kate Rose. I love Kay and Kate. They're in at $100 each. $100, Margaret Green is in at $100. Thank you, Margaret. Janet Carlson is in at $100. Janet, thank you. Jana Herty, I think. Hurdle, sorry. Jana Hurdle. I don't know an I from an L. Jana Hurdle is in. Jana, you're in at $100. Thank you. We've got Margaret Halliday. Margaret, I'm watching our monitors. Margaret's in at $100. They keep coming. They keep coming, so keep bidding. Don't slow down. Vicki Holcomb is in at $100. All the way from the East Coast now, my dear friend, God, I love you, Lisa Pellegrini is in at $100. Kristen Val-Peters is in at $100. No, Kristen's in at $200. Kristen, thank you. Again, Kristen's paving the way. If you want to go in and double that bid, you can bid $200 or increments of $100. Here you go. Oh, another $100 bid from Azita Ansari. Thank you, Azita. All right, am I down to our finals? And then we have one more. Oh, and you're right here from one of our teammates here. Lucy Talbot is in at $100. Lucy, God love you. Thank you. All right. John K. is back in with another $100. Thank you, John. Listen, this is how we're making a difference. I'm going to just pause for 1 second for our last opportunity here. Thank you so much for your generosity. Anybody else? We've got our last opportunities for our bids. Leonela Castillo is in for a $100 bid. Leonela, thank you. And thank you for that nice introduction earlier. And the $100 bid, it doesn't get any better than that. Anybody else at $100? Last and final chance. I know those bids are still an opportunity for those trickling in. Listen, this isn't our last opportunity for us to fill this need. We want to thank each and every one of you for your donations. And I want to also note that as we're moving on, our vendor partners are also donating 20% of their proceeds to go right to Rowan Branch to help us fund the life-saving work that's happening every day at Children's Oakland. You know, you can shop these wonderful vendors all throughout the weekend. And as we take a look at some of those vendors right here that we want to thank you to all of those amazing sponsors. We would not be able to make our impact without you and your continued generosity. So finally, as a reminder, we have over 40 special packages available for you to bid on in the silent auction. And you're going to have to try to outbid me because I know my wife is fighting over that Ovid Winery package for the romantic getaway. Maybe that's just a hint, honey. Jump in, hit the button. The silent auction is open and active now and will remain open all the way through 9 p.m. Sunday evening on the website. Hang on, one more that we want to recognize. Gretchen Gibson is now in with her $100 bid. Gretchen, thank you. You're doing it right. We're not slowing down. We're continuing our bids, and that's what this is all about. Again, we're open until 9 p.m. Sunday evening on the website at rowanbranch.org, where you are right now. So that's where you go. That's where our items are going to continue to be open. That's where you're going to continue to fight for that amazing Ovid Winery package. And right now we've come to the final portion of our program. Thank you again so much for all of your bids. But our next portion here is our exciting raffle. So let me just let you know what's at stake here. Today's big prize is a beautiful set of 14-karat gold over silver bangles with diamonds and a 14-karat gold heart-shaped diamond pendant with 14-karat gold chain, all generously donated by our dear friends at D&D Jewelry in Walnut Creek. So jump in. We're going to find out who our winners are, and to announce our winners and close things out, please join me in welcoming back Christina Smith, Lucy Talbot, and Rowan Vendor Chair Bettina Pletkin. Come on down.
Thanks so much, Joe. We are so happy that we had so many fantastic bidders. Thank you so, so much for all of those Fund a Need donations. And now it's time for us to pick the winners for our jewelry raffle, thanks to D&D. And Bettina, let's have you do the honors. There we go.
And our winner is
Nazila Tarani.
Congratulations.
And we also are very fortunate to have so many wonderful vendors, and they have given us some wonderful items. And Bettina's just going to really get in there deep and mix it up. Our first one is a donation from our vendor Cornology. It's a 2.5-gallon popcorn tin. And take it away,
and
Lucy.
And the winner is Maddie Jane Designs. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have a twist lock crossbody bag from Bliss of Danville.
And the winner is Leslie Lohman.
Our wonderful
Congratulations.
Rowan member. Fantastic. Next, we have a sterling silver 14-karat gold-plated CZ flower necklace from the Treasured Accessory.
And the winner is Mary Condi.
Nobody more deserving. Mary Condi, Another Planet Entertainment. She's been fantastic to us over the years. Thank you so much, Mary. You deserve that. I'll get that prize too. Next, we have Alessawen Boutique gift certificate. So thank you so much, Elisa Wen, Potato, Elisa Wen Boutique in Danville.
And the winner is Carol DiRamondo. Congratulations to my friend Carol.
And thank you to Carol for also being a fantastic Fund a Need donor. Next, we have a cocoa-wrapped 3-bar gift set with tasting guide from Dandelion Chocolate.
And the winner is Melissa Halal.
Fantastic. Another she was hard at work with a lot of auction items, so thank you so much to her. And lastly, we have a gift certificate from Kiki Bean and Bedhead, which makes fantastic pajamas, which I will be sleeping in tonight.
And the winner is Melissa Williams.
Melissa Williams. I'll get that prize. She's in Virginia right now, and I'm sure she's watching, so I will get your prize to you too. Congratulations to all the winners. If you won something tonight or are the winning bidder on the online auction, we will make sure to contact you via email to get you all your prizes. And Lucy?
Now, before we say goodnight, we'd like to thank some people that made the e-spree possible. First and foremost, Christina and I would like to acknowledge all of the hard work of the Rowan Branch members. Thank you, thank you. We are a diverse group of women working hard to benefit Children's Hospital Oakland. On that note, if you'd like to join us, please reach out to us. You'll find our email on our website. We'd love to have you.
Thanks again to our wonderful donors, our vendors, our volunteer creative team, and our dedicated production crew who are here with us tonight. We couldn't have done it without you, and tonight wouldn't have been possible. Remember, as Joe said, you have until 9 p.m. this coming Sunday evening to bid on silent auction items and to do some shopping that will benefit Children's Hospital Oakland.
And now, to end our program, please welcome Arden Hilal. Her mom is a Rowan member, and her brother Holden was successfully treated for a brain tumor at Children's Oakland in 2013. He's headed to college this fall. Please enjoy her original song, and thank you all again for joining us tonight.
Long drive, but you know that it's worth the wait. 40 miles to the coast just to see the waves. Great minds always go to the same places. You find a home in a sleepy Cape Town. It's hard to know if you'll feel less alone now. At the edge of the cliffs, it's a long way down. I can breathe deep for the first time. Let the ocean breeze come and clear our minds. Let's go to the coast in flannel shirts. Tell you the secret of who I love the most. I swear it's you that I'm dreaming of. Finally caught all the dreams you were chasing. The fog rolled in and gave you a clean slate. Washed away all the pain, now it's gone with the waves. Now you stand with your feet planted on the ground. Who would have thought silence would become your favorite sound? You love the feeling of freedom when no one is around. How does it feel to breathe deep for the first time? Let's go to the coast in flannel shirts. Tell you the secret of who I love the most. I swear it's you that I'm dreaming of. Let's go to the water, right to the edge. Pretend that we're never coming back again. I swear that I'm dreaming of. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. I found you in the dark, brought you back to life. But we got lost in the blinding city lights. Had to run away to the one place that we call home. We went back to the coast. Let's go to the coast in flannel shirts. Tell you the secret of who I love the most. I swear it's you that I'm dreaming of. Let's go to the water, right to the edge. Pretend that we're never coming back again. I swear it's you that I'm dreaming of. Let's go to the coast. Well, let's go and that I'm dreaming of. Thank you so much to the Rowan Branch. Have a good night, everybody.